Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Really excited. I do have a brand new release from Spellbinders to share with you today. Spellbinders did send me this product. I really, really appreciate that. And the product that I'm going to be using today is from Simon Hurley, and I love it. It is really, really pretty. I'm going to make a really quick and easy card with you today. I've done quite a bit of the prep ahead of time just so that I don't keep you here too long today. And actually, we're going to order out tonight. We have a sushi place here in our little city called Ma's Sushi, and it's delicious. And we're actually going to pick up sushi and take it over to my daughter's house. Her husband is away traveling today, actually, most of this week. And so we're going to treat her to some sushi today and just go over there and just chill out, literally, and try to stay warm in this crazy, crazy weather. So Amy says, I think we are at a balmy minus 27 right now. It is really, really cold. And what's so funny is like we have had the mildest winter on record, I think. And here we are in late February, almost over February into March, and we're having some of the most intense winter weather that we've had all winter. So kind of crazy. Hi, Leanne. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone. I always love when my pals join me here on Facebook and YouTube for a little bit of creative activity. It's just one of those days where don't you just want to tuck in and just stay warm? I didn't show you my face today just because like you don't want to see that. Nobody needs to see that today. But you can see my desk. That's the most important thing, right? So here I do have my most beautiful manicure to show you today. These are press-on nails. I do not have time to paint my nails. I wish I did, and I wish that I could do a good job of it. But in fact, these are plastic, adhered with plastic, I'm sure. So yeah, these are just some impressed press-on nails, and that's as good as it's going to get today. Thank you so much, Uget, for joining me as well today. I'm so glad to see everybody here in the chat. So we are going to just go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you the products that Spellbinders did send me. I did create a bunch of samples for them for their most recent catalog, and that was for the Simon Hurley release. And I always really appreciate when companies send me different products. I love it because we all know how expensive these things are to purchase on our own. So whenever anyone reaches out to me and asks to send me things, I'm like, yes, please. I would love that. And Simon is an amazing creative. I did get to meet him last year when I was in Ohio for Creativation. He's an incredibly talented young fellow, and I do always really, really love working with his products. One thing on my Simon Hurley wish list is his inks. I don't have those yet, so definitely on my wish list for sure. So I'm going to be working with a bunch of the products, but I'm going to show you everything that's in this release. I'm not going to work with everything, but I'm going to show you everything that's in the release. So first of all, we have this really gorgeous die set. It's called Tulip Trio, and the dies are gorgeous. I want to show you here what they've done. I love it when companies group dies like this so that you don't have to put an individual die into your die cutting machine. So in effect, for this one, you get all 3 layers for this specific die. So it actually has little numbers on here, 1, 2, and 3. And so that you know that number 1 is the base layer and 2 is the layer that goes on top. And it's cool because you also get the embossed lines on that die. And so 2 goes on top of that, and then 3 goes on top of that. So how easy is that? They do make this really, really foolproof. And I love that. So for this one, you get all of these different types of blooms. So you get 3 different blooms, and you get a bunch of leaves and stems as well in this set. And I have actually linked up to this die set and all of the other products, I hope, that I'm using today. If I have forgotten anything, I'll try to go back and link up later. I do want to mention also, guys, if you're in Canada, if you're fairly local, I am in Western Canada. I love to order online too when I can, when the products are available to stores that are here in Canada. And I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of my favorites, the Paper and Ink Boutique and the Paper Crafters Workshop in Ontario. So the Paper and Ink Boutique is in Calgary. Julia and Glenn Chupik, so wonderful to work with. I love them so much. And Sherry and Matt at the Paper Crafters Workshop. So if you want to shop local online, those are a couple of really great options. And then I have linked up to some other options in the description box below. But I always say support local wherever you can. Thanks, Amy. Yeah, I do really love this. It is really well designed. You're right, Leanne. And yes, Lynn, gorgeous, gorgeous tulips. So great. Just a really fantastic design. And you know what? I always really love the Spellbinders dies. They're so good. They're always so good. Such great quality. Now, also in this release included is the hello sentiments from Simon. I actually have just listed them here in my handwriting so that I don't forget. So what you get for each one of these different words is you get the shadow die and you get the scripty die as well, which is fantastic. And I'm going to be using the thanks die today, but you get happy birthday, congrats, thinking of you, thanks, hello, friend, thank, you, love, and hugs. Those are all of the different words that are included in this die set. And like I said, for every one of those, you get a shadow die and you get the scripty word die as well. So really great value. Love that. Very nice. In this collection, you also get a very large, or available, I should say, a very large embossing folder. Now, I think this is 5x7, but I feel like it looks actually larger than that. So this is actually 5 3/4 by 8 1/2. So 5 3/4 by 8 1/2. So larger than 5x7. So what I love about this, and one of the cards I designed for the catalog was a slimline card. And so this die is actually large enough to create the largest slimline die. Largest slimline card base. So perfect for that. I love that you get all of this real estate because you can create so many different types of cards, right? So if it's teeny tiny or just an A2 size, you're really, bound to that size. But when you get this size, you can do all different sizes, which is really nice. And this is what it looks like when it's embossed. So you can see all of the really fantastic detail that you get in that 3D embossing folder. Yes, I love that too. When you get that shadow die with a word, it's fantastic. It's just a little bit more versatility, right, with the die. So this one is called Twirling Tulips. It is a 3D embossing folder, and that is available at Spellbinders. And coordinating with that's a layered Twirling Tulip stencil set. And what that allows you to do is color in all of these different embossed pieces on that embossed image. So now you can go ahead, and these stencils are all numbered. So this one's numbered 1. So now you can go ahead with this embossed image and you can lay down your coloring for all of the different layers on that embossed image. So really fantastic. And like I said, the sample that I did for them with this one was a slimline card, and I think it turned out pretty nice. I actually really love this. This is gorgeous. So I'll be creating some more with that. And then today I'm also going to be using the Essential Stylish Ovals from Spellbinders. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Liette. Oh, so excited that you guys joined me. Thank you. Essential Stylish Ovals, a really great die set from Spellbinders. This is just a really, really great basic die set. If you guys do not know about Glitter and Ink Boutique, Liette Barubi, who's in the comments, owns and operates Glitter and Ink in Belleville, Ontario. And if you have not shopped with Liette before, she is, well, first of all, she's a doll. And she has a wonderful online and brick and mortar store in Belleville, Ontario. So make sure you check her out. That is Glitter and Ink Boutique. So anyways, this stacked oval die set, so good. So good. It is an essential from Spellbinders. I absolutely love it. Let me just count these up for a second. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I believe there are 16 dies in here. It probably says that. Oh, yes, it does. So nice, Spellbinders. I should have just looked. But yes, 16 cutting dies. So really, really awesome for creating all of those different layers in your projects that where you want an oval as your main focal point. I totally agree, Lynn. Love glitter and ink. Fantastic. Ovals drive me insane because I have the hardest time lining them up. But I love them. And I think I bought that set. Yes, I love the set too. It's really great. So this is what I am going to be creating today. So what I did was I, ahead of time, die cut out an oval. And I'm going to show you the cardstock that I used today. I used this cardstock from Spellbinders. It is the brushed black cardstock. And this is fantastic because it is not so shiny that it's glittery. It's just got this really great kind of matte finish. So it is in effect brushed, right? But, and of course this is the chunk that I cut out of, but it is still just such great. It is so nice and thick and wonderful, and it embosses beautifully. It's a 107-pound cover weight. And I love this so much. So this is the brushed black cardstock. Love it. And I've cut one oval size larger of the pink glitter cardstock. So this is the glitter cardstock with so this is the spring tone assorted. And the top one that you get in the package is this really pretty bright pink, and you get 2 of each of these colors. So I used this really pretty bright pink for my frame around that black oval. So I cut out the oval first from the oval die. Then I ran it through the embossing folder, that tulip embossing folder. And then I cut the oval one size larger from that glitter paper. So, hey, Monica, thank you so much for joining me. Huge hugs to you, my friend. And so now we've got a couple of layers for our focal point for our card front. I am working on an A2 size card base here of white cardstock, top folding, and that's going to be our card base. And next, what I did was I cut out the tulips from that die set that I showed you earlier. So I've got all of the different layers layered up there on the tulips, and I've also cut some stems and some coordinating leaves. And my sentiment is going to be that thanks sentiment as well. So those are all of the different pieces that I have already prepared ahead of time. And like I said, when I'm live, I like to kind of do a little bit of prep so that it's not all on the fly, so that I'm not keeping you here for 1 million hours. And mainly because I'm really selfish and I want to go have dinner tonight with my daughter and my grandson. So I don't want to keep you too long, and I want to make sure that I let you go in good time. Thank you, Monica. These are press-on nails. Mari is too lazy to take time to do a nice manicure or spend the money on it. So these are press-on nails. I can't remember which ones these are, but they're some of the FX from Impress Beauty, and they're really inexpensive. They ship really fast, and I do not have an affiliate link. I'm not an affiliate with them at all. I first saw these on a Jennifer McGuire video, and I actually found them at Shoppers Drug Mart and London Drugs and Walmart here in Saskatchewan. And then I actually ordered from Impress Beauty, and I actually have some of these to send to my sister Lynn, who's in the chat. And they're really great. They stay on for a long time. They don't damage your nails. You do not use glue with them. They actually have a little bit of adhesive on the back of them, and they're really super easy to apply, and then when I'm sick of them or I want to just give my nails a little breathing space, I just take them off with the little wooden stick that comes in the box, and they're really easy to take off. So yeah, really super easy and good. So we are going to go ahead and colorize these gorgeous little tulips. And I'm actually just going to bring up my little reference photo because I'm like that. I'm just going to use the little reference photo that I have on my phone of the tulips that I did already color previously. So this one here is going to be my pink tulip. And so what I did was I got out some pink fresh inks, and I have those all ready to go. That's how that's going to layer together. It's really, really super easy. Spellbinders has taken all of the mystery out of this for us, which is great. So I have got a couple of inks here. I've got some pink fresh inks. Like I said earlier, I wish I had the Simon Hurley inks. I do not have them. Maybe I will get them sometime in the future. And I'm going to also use my Picket Fence pouncers. I think I'm just trying to decide, do I want to use the mini or the big one? Okay, I'm actually going to switch this because I do have a couple of mini sets that they sent me, and this one I do already have designated for dye inks. Now the Picket Fence minis are so great, or the regular size pouncers. Let me show you the regular size. And I think that I forgot to link these, so I'll try to remember to go back and link these up for you. But what's great about these is when you're just kind of like doing some basic inking where you can pounce the ink on, the pouncers are fantastic. So I think I'm going to use the mini, not the big one, but I'm going to just show you the difference in size between these two. So I think that this is really great for smaller areas, and I'm going to use the mini today. And the colors of ink I'm using are Bubblegum and Sparkling Rose. So I'm going to start with the Sparkling Rose, and I'm actually going to ink blend all over top of, look how easy that is, over top of the whole thing, super quick, like so, with that Sparkling Rose. And then I'm actually going to assemble my die cut piece here. So I'm going to go in with the second layer, and I'm going to attach it to the first layer, like so. Very easy to do. So like I said earlier, Spellbinders has taken all of the mystery out of this. The pint size, that's what they're called. Amy, thank you for reminding me. Pint size pouncers. And they're so good. I love them. They're so adorable. You're right. Anything mini, right? Anything mini. And then we can just layer this over top. And now what I will do is I will go in, actually, yes, I will do that now. I will go in with my bubble gum, and I'm just going to go around and add a little bit of detail with my bubble gum and just pounce it on, just mostly at the bottom. But look how easy that is. You guys, the pint size pouncers from Picket Fence Studios. So excited. Actually, they reached out to the team on Scrapbook and Cards today and said, hey, do you guys want to try out some of our new products? And I said, yes, of course. And that was the pint size pouncers. And they had, when I was actually at Creativation last year, Nicole Peterson from Picket Fence had given me the big size. So I really love those. So there you go, guys. So easy. Really easy to colorize your die cut pieces with those pouncers. Now, I'm just going to grab a wipe. I just want to make sure I get the ink off of there. This is a Altenew grip mat, but honestly, like you could use the Picket Fence grip mat, you could use the Waffle Flower grip mat, whatever you would prefer. And I'm going to do all three of my florals different colors. So this one's going to be yellow. And I'm going to start with Lemon Whip from Pink Fresh. And we're going to switch out our pouncers to the yellow. And again, I'm going to go with my die. And I don't have the labels, so I just take like a Sharpie and write die on there because these are die inks. And we're just going to pounce on some of this Lemon Whip. It is such an easy way to color your die cuts. If you don't have a lot of different colors of cardstock, or you just really like to use your inks, you can definitely always colorize with your inks. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and layer this together. Again, I will say the dies tell you by numbering which dies go first, second, and third. I am using my Misty glue press here today because it is wonderful. I love it. And I do have Barely Arts glue in my glue press. Barely Arts, because the Barely Arts glue is a little bit more liquidy. It's not quite as thick. And I do like that because I don't have any trouble with it clogging with the Barely Arts. Okay, now this is Sweet Mustard. Same brush. This is the same pouncer. This is the same pint-sized pouncer. We're going to really intensify that ink at the bottom. So there we've got just a really easy inked up bloom there. And again, I'm going to take my wipe and just get rid of that. You will notice this photopolymer, whatever type of grip mat that you have, always stains. Like this is so stained and I don't care. It does not matter. And this is our third bloom. And with this one, we're going to use some oranges. I'm not sure which ones. I think Mimosa we will use. Love that one, Mimosa. And I think we will use Mango Sorbet. I did pull out a bunch of different options, but we're going to do that. And I'm just going to change out my pint-sized pouncer. And again, I do already have one dedicated to die. The other pouncer that I have, I will dedicate to oxides. And I like the grip mat too, and it's so great. The grip mats are so fantastic because they just hold your paper, right? Makes it so easy. So this is the Mimosa from Pink Fresh. I'm going to get a really good layer of that. And now we're going to, now which one was 2 and which one was 3? I think that was 2 and that's 3. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so we're going to just go in again with our Barely Arts glue. And thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it because I do realize that Jennifer McGuire and Christina Werner are both live. So if you're here, don't go anywhere. I just appreciate that you're here. That's amazing. That makes me so happy. And Gina K is live later. So, you know, it's really fun that you're here. I appreciate it. So I'm just going to make sure that I get that in the right spot. And then I'm just going to give it a really good squeeze and press. Are those pouches for each color family? Yes, exactly. Those pouncers. Yes. These pouncers are, so they come in all of the rainbow colors. And hi, Linda. Thank you so much for joining from Calgary. Appreciate you. So these little pouncers come in all of the different colors of the rainbow. And you get the pint-sized pouncers, and you can also get the larger ones. So it's great. They do look after you in that way, which is fantastic. Hello, Mary. Thank you so much for joining me. By the way, if you have not been following Mary Gun Fun at Craft Roulette, make sure you do so. Mary is in the house. And Leon's playing hooky today, and she should be because it's way too cold to be outside. Okay, so this one is Mango Sorbet. And we're just going to darken up the bottom like we did with the other colors. And Monica says, so you don't have to clean them. Nope, you do not have to clean them. What I find, especially with the dye ink, is like it just dries and like you just keep layering it on. They're fine. You know, they work really, really well. So there's just no issues. Yes, perfect. Okay, so there we've got our 3 different blooms. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the stems that I've die cut on here. And I don't remember if I need 4 or not. I have to look back at my card design, but I'm just going to go ahead and color 4. And if I don't need 4 for this one, well, then I will use them for another one. And anything that's extra, when I make something, I always just like store it with the product. So I'll put it in like the pouches for the different things. So these will go in the pouches for the dies if I don't use them all. Thanks, Lynn. I really appreciate it. So I am going to use Fresh Pear and Meadow. So again, just using the pink fresh inks. I am going to grab, I actually don't even have this one labeled, but I have a lighter green pint size. Oh, this is just green. Oh, why do I have, okay, yes. Because the pint size pouncers actually come in a light green and a dark green. So I think we'll start with the light green with the Fresh Pear. And I'm just going to go in over the whole thing with the Fresh Pear. But you see how, like, Monica's question was, like, you don't have to clean them. You might think that, well, that's really dark, so I'm going to get a really dark ink on there. It's completely dried. There's no color transfer at all. And so I'm going to put the Fresh Pear on there. And I'm only going to get Fresh Pear. Okay. I hope that answers any questions you might be intrigued about the pouncers. But I love the pouncers from Picket Fence. If you have not discovered them yet, they are really great. And it's just so easy. Like there's no resistance, right? Like with ink blending, I feel like you have to work a little bit harder. And there is still obviously a place for ink blending, but the pouncers, when we're doing this kind of application, make it really, really super easy. I love them. So that is the Fresh Pear from Pink Fresh. And next I'm going to go in with Meadow. And I'm going to use the darker pouncer for this one. And I'm just going to create a little bit of darker, right? And I may not, let's see how much I have to re-ink this. I don't know that I'll have to re-ink it a ton. Just blend off even on the side of my mat. I'm going to try to do this so that I don't end up with like circles, which is a little bit easier when you've just got like this little strand. And I'm just trying to create a little bit of variation. The tops are going to get covered with the blooms. And I don't really remember how long these stems are. So I'm going to kind of go fairly long with this. You can see that my grip mat needs to be washed because it's not as sticky as it should be. And then we'll create a little bit of depth and interest on the bottom of this one. I'll make it fairly dark right at the very, very bottom. And then kind of blend that out a little bit. So you can actually create a little bit of gradation of color with these pouncers. Just by, start at the bottom really blend it, make it dark, and then slowly move up a little bit, and then leave that top part lighter. So you can create that gradation of color in that way. It is possible. They're so fun. I love them. Okay, so that was Pink Fresh Meadow. So now we have all of our little stems and leaves blended. And yes, love it. Love the pouncers. So good. So good. Okay, we're going to get rid of that mat. Stuff that in a box out of the way. And now we are going to bring in our card. I'm just going to make sure I don't have a bunch of ink on my fingers. Clean my desk off, although it's probably fine. And somewhere in my very messy craft room, here it is, I do have a flower sackcloth. Okay, so now we can start to assemble our card. And I am going to just go ahead and layer these two pieces together just with a little bit of adhesive. Look at that deboss side. That's good too, right? We could use the debossed or the embossed side. And I'm going to go ahead and stick that onto the glitter base. I'm going to try to get that on there centered as best I can without getting my head into the frame of the video. And it's always tricky to stick to glitter. It's always a little bit tricky, and I can see that that is not straight. Just going to pull that over just a little bit and down a tiny little bit. And I think I'm actually going to need a whole lot more glue than what I have on there. So give that a good squeeze. And then I can actually take a couple of paperweights that I have. And I'm just going to move that off to the side. And I'm going to just take a look at assembling these tulips, which are beautiful. Okay, so we're going to need this guy. I think we're going to put this one on this one like this. So it's great that you've got these kind of like heads on these stems that you can go ahead and stick your tulips onto. So give that a press. Amy, my ovals probably aren't centered. Gonna give that a good press. And give it a good one. Looks like it's stuck. And then we are going to go ahead and stick each of these other tulips onto one of these tops, like so. Let that get stuck. And I'm going to have an extra stem, which is great. So I've got an extra stem that I can pop into my leftovers pile. And you know, if you're like a super card maker like Amy is, you would be making 2 or 3 cards at one time. That is not me. Okay, so there's those guys. Oop, this one's stuck to my table, stuck to my mat. I'm just going to pick it up and get it unstuck from my table. Give it a little press. Feels pretty good. Okay. And I am going to just clean this adhesive off of my table. Get rid of all of this adhesive here. Oh my gosh, I feel like I've had just an insane day today. I made a video this morning and absolutely nothing went right. Nothing. So I used a pigment ink for my sentiment, which I often do, and I transferred ink all over the wrong places. It was not a happy moment. Yeah, I did not have a good morning today. It was a very bad morning. Oh, well. Okay, so that is my card base. That is my card base. And I think I'm just kind of taking a look at where I had the leaves on my sample. I am going to just go flat with this. Woo, she's flying all over the place. And I'm going to get this placed. You might see my head get in the frame here. I hope not. Pretty close to centered. It's not perfect, but we're not going for perfection here, are we? It looks pretty close. I've got that on, so I'm just going to stick that on there for a second. And then we are going to add our beautiful tulips and some leaves and our sentiment. Isabel, hi, how are you? So great to see you. Okay, we're just going to give that a good press. Getting that adhered. There we go. I think it's pretty good. So this tulip is going to go here. And this guy is going to go here. And this one is going to go up here-ish, like so in our little bouquet. And then we've got a couple of little leaves. I'm going to add this one kind of in this area, and this one in this area here. And then this is going to go on last. Let's get some press and seal. What do you guys think? Are you team press and seal? Let me know. We're going to try it. I'm going to tear some off. I love Mary. Guys, if you are not following Mary Gun Fun, do it. Okay, so I am going to go in with the press and seal. Good enough. Looks pretty good. I'm going to press on those flowers and I'm going to lift it up, trying to make sure that everything stays attached. Sometimes you will see creators kind of create a little hinge like so, and we can do that. We can create a little hinge. I'm not saying it's going to work perfectly. And I am going to grab some foam adhesive without creating an avalanche on my desk here. It happened anyways. Yes, team press and seal. I love press and seal. It's so good. So we could actually attach these just with liquid adhesive, but let's try some foam adhesive. This could go wrong, and that is always possible, but it could also go right. Let's tempt fate a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take all the little backers off my Adhesives by 3L foam adhesive. And then we will hinge this back over again. And in theory, it should go into the right spot, roughly. And if it's not completely centered, it's all good. I'm not too worried about it. But that should kind of work. Kind of, sort of. So the main parts of it are where they're supposed to be, but I might just move this over just a tiny little bit. Might just move this over little wee bitsy bits to there. I just want to see if this is still going to cover up that bottom area. And it does pretty well. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, and you can reuse this. You can save that and reuse it. I'm going to go in and just add a little bit of liquid adhesive at the bottoms of these to glue them into place. Like so. I love it. Oh gosh, I love this release so much from Simon. I think it is just so adorable. And I really love that little bit of glitter on there. I don't know if you can see it really well in the video. Okay, so now I am just going to go ahead and take a scissor and snip that off the bottom. And this is going to fit down here, and I can just snip that off as well, but I just kind of wanted to get an eyeball on how far down I can snip that before I snip it all off. So I can actually snip this right to the black. I can snip those guys right off to the edge of the black. So now they're just right on the edge of that oval. And now we can take this and just place that right over top. And it's just going to kind of finish off that area. And I think I'll just do that again with my glue press. Like so. And give that a nice press. And you can put your weight on top of there. And now we're going to take that little sentiment and we're going to add that onto the shadow. And I'm just going to add just a tiny little bit of liquid adhesive. We don't need too much, dot, dot, not a lot. And we can add that onto this guy, which is the shadow. Shout out to my friends at Crafter's Companion. These are really great tweezers. And now we can just go ahead and place that scripty die onto the base, like so. And you can build this up by die cutting out the shadow die multiple times if you want, or you can use some foam adhesive, whichever you prefer. And now we can go back over to this guy here and we can add that thanks onto the bottom. So I'm definitely going to use some foam adhesive for that. And I'm going to use, again, Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. I'm going to use a strip of foam. If you do not have these Spellbinder scissors yet, I highly recommend them. They are amazing. They are so good. I do have them linked, but you should probably be able to get them from most of the retailers that you shop at. They're so, so good. They're Teflon, so no adhesive sticks to them. And they're really nice and long. I love them. They're super sharp as well. Okay, so there we've got a little bit of foam adhesive on that. I feel like these leaves got a little wonky down here, but that's the great thing about this going across the bottom. And I don't really want to cover up that pink at the bottom, so I'm just going to put this slightly above the pink glitter. And before I completely press that down, I'm just going to pick that up. I think I want to move it over just a little wee bitsy bits. Yeah, I think that does it. So that is the card with the Simon Hurley brand new release from Spellbinders today. I really like it. I really love the release. I think it's gorgeous. I do really appreciate all of you for joining me today. I love it that you joined me and stopped in. And again, want to thank Spellbinders for sending me this product. And I absolutely love working with Simon Hurley's products. They are always so much fun. And have an amazing day. And I will, thanks, Leanne. I will see you again soon, hopefully next Tuesday. I've been trying to go live on Tuesdays, and so far for the last few weeks, it's been working okay. So I'm trying to maintain that consistency. Have a wonderful day, everyone. And thanks again for joining me today. Take care and stay well. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.